Did you shift?
I moved my mic.
I think you still good though.
Okay. Now I'm about to take a selfie for real this time.
Okay.
Time out. You never supposed to look directly in the camera.
I'm just saying. I was talking to.
I'm not an amateur.
You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's go. Simply Mad Productions.
Yes.
What is Simply Mad Productions? What's the meaning behind the name? What is it?
Okay, so Simply Mad Productions, to me, I feel like to do film and to make it in this industry or any type of art form, you have to be like a little off. Like, you know, like you have to be like a little mad to, you know, survive in the game. So that's why it's Simply Mad Productions.
Okay. I'm going to start with this one also. 1015 Holly Grove Lane.
Yes.
What is 1015 Holly Grove Lane?
Okay, so 1015 is my dad's birthday. And then Holly Grove Lane is just a street that I made up. So it's a film, it's a horror, but it's a film about this family, and their day starts off regular. You know, the kids are getting ready for school, mom and dad getting ready for work, and then the next thing you know, they're chloroformed and they're tied up in their basement. So now they have to play a game. They have to answer a series of questions. And if they get it wrong, they're tortured. But if they get it right, then nothing happens. So at this point, it is, are you trying to save yourself or are you trying to save your other family member? So, you know, like, will you let the truth set you free or will you lie and save your own life? So.
Okay. Why horror? Why that genre out of anything else, horror?
I don't know how it happened for real. Like, cause I'm actually scared of scary movies, so I don't even watch them. But I don't know. I came up with the story and I obsessed about it for months, so I just decided to write it down. Honestly, I want to be a director that can make any type of film. Like, this is the first movie I've made with my company. It's a horror, but I've done Christian films, I've done action. So it's like I want to be able to do everything. And then horror just seemed like it fit, so.
Okay, so how did you get started with film, directing, all that kind of stuff? How did you get started?
Ooh, okay. I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, I love TV, like movies and everything, and I knew like I wanted to be there. Like I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So like I started off acting and doing plays and stuff like that. And then when my father passed away 4 years ago, I switched over to directing. Like it just wasn't the same. Like so I switched over to that, and then I love it. And producing just kind of was like an accident. Like I know a lot of people. I know a lot of connections. So it's like it was easy for me to find like locations and things like that. And writing, like I couldn't find a writer, so I just decided to write myself. Yeah, but directing is the main thing that I want to do. But those other things just kind of like happen, but they all go together, create a good film. So
I know you kind of spoke on it a little bit in that answer, but the premiere for this is October 16th.
Yes.
That's the significance. So maybe if you can speak about your inspiration behind.
Okay, so my dad is my inspiration just because he was my biggest supporter in anything I did. And film, he kind of pushed me. Like, even when I didn't believe in myself, those moments, he believed in me. So it's like, when I told him I wanted to do film, he always would be like, well, India, you know, you need to watch black and white. You need to do this. You need to watch all type of films, you know, so you could be well-rounded. So it was just like, when I made this movie, I told myself no matter what I do, every film will have a piece of him in it. So that's why it's 1015, his birthday, Holly Grove Lane. Like, every movie will have just a little something of him in it that I can take on with me. So he'll live through my films, like, always. So, like, he inspired me to be the best that I can be. So I just keep going. Like, he told me don't stop. So I just go. Like, that's my inspiration.
Okay, so when you're talking about how you just keep going and keep moving, how do you deal with hate or naysayers? You know, because we know a lot of people come across that when following their dreams.
Right.
So how do you deal with that? How do you find a way to surround yourself with positive people?
I don't know. Like, I always been a person. I don't really care what people think or say about me. Like, I don't care. But like, it is tough in the industry. Like, when I first switched over to directing, and I'm like, oh, I want to direct a movie. Everybody was like, well, you just can't switch over like that. Like, you gotta go about it a certain way. And to me, it's like I made up my mind that I'm a director now. So that's all, and that's it. So I'm gonna just do that. So I actually went on this guy's set. His name is Desmond, and we went to college together. And he was doing his movie or whatever. So I went to help him, and he made me a production assistant. And then the following year, he asked me to direct a film for him. So like in the short 2 years, I've directed 4 films. So I mean, I don't know if people hate on me. Like, that's just them. Like, they hate themselves. I don't really care what people say. I will say this though. Coming into the industry now, making my own film, like on Facebook, they have like film groups. And this girl, she sent me a message and she was just like, oh, I see that you're doing horror. You're not doing drama like me, so you're no competition. And I just thought that was funny. Like, what? I'm my own competition. Like, if I want to do a drama or any kind of film, I'm going to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're no competition because you're stuck in one thing and I'm on to a million things. So, I don't know. I just stay with good people and for real, stay by myself for real, and just don't let nobody stop me from doing what I want to do. So
That's what's up. All right, we talked all about movies. Who is India Perkins? The person. Who are you?
I don't know. India as a person, I'm probably like goofy, silly, make jokes. I don't know. Somebody that's like, I won't say that I'm shy, but in certain situations I can be until I get to know people. I don't know, for real. I don't know what to say who I am. Like, I guess I'm dedicated, clearly, because I made it this far. But I don't know. Let's skip that question. Ask me something else.
All right. So what gives you your creative vision when either coming up with ideas for films or while you're going through the process of directing a film?
Okay. So when I'm coming up with an idea for a film, I try not to watch nothing that is like that film. Like, I hate when people steal other people's ideas and revamp them over and over and over. Like, I feel like my mind is too creative. Like, my thoughts are too endless to ever limit myself to do something what other people are doing. So it's like, when I made this film, I didn't want to watch anything that had to do with horror or torture, or, people would be like, well, to inspire you, go look up this film. No, I'm not going to do that because I don't want my ideas to bleed with their ideas. Like, so I kind of just tunnel vision, focus on myself. And then as far as directing, like, I've probably read every directing book you can think about. And then acting. Like, one thing about directors in the industry, they never were actors, so they can't really understand the actors. They can't get in the mindset of them. But since I started off as an actor, it was easy for me to understand where the actor is coming from in this scene. Like, I'm the type of director where I want you to be creative. Like, I give you these lines, but I want you to tell me what your perspective is, because that's what make a great movie. So I wrote it. That was my perspective. But now your perspective on the character, bring it to life, So those are some of the things that I do, like, just focus and just, I don't know, be creative and learn to collaborate with others is how I do. I guess you could say be creative.
Now, as a woman in this field, do you have to grind harder, being that sometimes it could be more male dominated?
Yeah. So I be feeling like it's a boys club. Like, a lot of times when I go on set or if I go to a shoot, I'm the only girl outside of the actresses. So that be kind of hard. And then people don't really take you serious, but you got to show them. So that's why I work really hard, like, to show people, like, I'm just as good as you, if not better, So in that sense, and then it's another thing too, like, guys are like, oh, they want to like you, they want to talk to you and those type of things. So then that's like, I'm here to work. Like, I'm not here to be hit on or stuff like that. So, I mean, those kind of things are hard. But at the end of the day, like, if you get good friends, like, you'll be fine. Like, the people that I work with, the guys and some of the girls, they're really good people, So I guess I don't know. It's always hard, though, like, going up against men. But, hey, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to be the best, better than all of them.
What are I know you said when you're doing a film you don't like to look and watch a film that's related to that genre, but what are some of your favorite films, movies, whatever the case may be? What kind of made you fall in love with movies? What's your favorite?
I don't know if that's their favorite because that's like you would take out so many types of movies. I could never narrow it down to one. But what I can say is I don't know, like anything like where there's a message, like telling people to. Films get me that inspire, like they inspire to be great, like Pursuit of Happiness, things like that. Like even kid movies for real, like they all have a message, So I think the message, I think that's like my way to express myself. Like that's my way to give back and change people's thoughts on how society is through film. I can express myself that way. I guess some of my favorite movies. I can't say favorite movies. Let's go with directors. Christopher Nolan. I really like him. He did The Dark Knight, Batman. That's really dope. I think he's dope just because he's like family oriented. So like everybody that works for him is a part of his family. Like his brother is a writer. His wife is the producer, so it's like they putting up their money and it's all coming back to their family. So I think like they're dope. Like I like Spike just because Spike is really good at using like small locations and making it seem like they was everywhere. And 9 times out of 10, they've been on the whole little space, the little bitty city block the whole time. So I think that's dope and really creative. And that's hard to do, in film, especially big budget films. And he still managed to do that. Like it's easy, low budget, but big budget. So I like Steven Spielberg just because of like the imagination piece. I'm trying to think of who else would I like. I don't know, a lot of people, but those 3 like might be my favorite.
Okay, when you talk about being a producer and a director, what's the difference in those roles? Like, as I look at it as a director, that's the person whose vision you see, like when you see the final product. But there's so many roles that go into a film or a TV show or whatever. I mean, you have the writers. Of course, they have their own vision. You have directors, and then you have your producers and all the other parts. So what's like the main difference between those two jobs there, being a producer and a director?
Well, the producer's job is most of the time is before production like starts, like pre-production. Like their job is to go out and find locations and to make sure you guys are spending the money on budget, auditions, things like that. They do more so of the behind the scenes stuff. And then the director is, of course, the person who is setting up the scene. Like, so they making this scene come to life, whatever is in the script. So they taking a writer's vision and turn it into director's vision. And then after that, of course, it goes to editing. And then it's that person's vision. Like, you tend to use editors who didn't see you film the movie so they can do their perspective. Like, I'm one of those directors that like it to the one script to go through a lot of hands, so it's different perspectives, because in life there's different perspectives. Everything shouldn't be from my point of view or from the director's point of view. So like the producer's just gonna keep the director on task, and then at the end when the film is finished, then the director sees the final cut. It approves it, but ultimately the producer who put up the money is gonna approve the final cut. Like, this their money. So at the end of the day, they're gonna be the ones to decide, like, this is the final cut of this movie. So
okay, all right. This is the last one from me, but it's what's the craziest thing you've experienced on set? Has it been, anything wild with actors or actresses or attitudes or anything like that?
Yeah, I got a lot of stories for that one. I think some of the craziest stuff was like, just like, I don't know. I had did this movie, and this movie Acquitted will premiere. It's a short, and it'll premiere before my movie at the premiere. So on set, like, this girl, she was like getting body paint. Everybody was getting body paint, but it didn't call for her to be naked. So it's like I was in the back filming another scene. So when I came to the front, she was like in the kitchen, like naked. And I was just like, what's going on here? Like, why is she naked? She could have kept on her underwear and her bra. So it was just like, what is going on? So I think that was probably like the craziest thing, like, that I've seen, just somebody just butthole naked just ready. Like, I don't know, just because, like, to me, that's too much. So that's probably, like, as far as, like, tempers and things like that, I haven't really had problems with getting into it with anybody because I'm really, like, a goofy, silly person. But, like, people do get into it on set. You know, I've seen people argue about stuff and people walk off set and not come back. So some of those things, but I think the naked thing might trump everything that I've seen.
Okay.
He asked.
This is the last question here.
Okay.
I talk about this a lot, so I want to get your perspective on
Okay.
it. When you think of or talk about the word love, what does love, the concept of love, mean to you? Mean to India Perkins? What does it mean to you?
I don't know. Oh, dang. This is like the question out of all the questions. I don't see, love is something that's so hard to define. Like, it's not something that I could just put into plain words. Like, to me, it's more so like a feeling, like what I feel. But even then, like, sometimes you love a person and you don't feel it, you know? So you gotta love them when you don't feel them in those moments. You gotta love through that part. So it's like, I mean, I've loved people, and then if I love somebody else, I feel like, did I ever really love that person? You know, it's constantly meeting new people that affect you in different ways, you know? So it's like different levels of love and different types of love. And I think everybody loves different and everybody expresses love different. Like, so to me, I guess my love language would be like, if you're my man, I want to cook for you. I want to make sure you fed every single day. Like, I want to touch you. I want to hug you. Like, to me, I feel like I'm an A-type personality. So in work and stuff like that, I'm a dog. Like, I'm a leader. But at home, I feel like I should be submissive. Like, he should be the leader and I should be, you know, like, long as I'm able to speak my mind in a relationship and I'm able, but at the end of the day, I want you to make decisions. I don't want to wear the pants because I do wear them at work. So I don't want to do that at home. Like, I need to know that you can make a decision, like, for us and our family, you know what I'm saying, in a matter of time. Like, because sometimes you may have to do that. So it's just like, love to me, like, I like old fashioned love. Like, that type of love is for me, like letters and poems and I don't know, like corny stuff like that, like music. I don't know, like romantic nights, stuff like that. So I think that's like love for me, like in a bubble, but I can't say it like in words. Like, those are all just feelings.
A lot of words. Sure.
Sorry.
No, that's what's up.
But that's love to me, per se. Like,
that's what's up. Well, that is, you know, that's it. But that's dope. That's like.
But I think
that's the whole point of asking the love question.
But I think that's how love should be, though. You know, like, I think what people go wrong with love these days is just because I expect to be loved this way, that may not be your style of love. You know, like, I may think love to me is being touched and things like that, but you may not be a touchy-feely kind of guy. That doesn't mean you don't love me. It just means that you don't love me in the way that I feel I need to be loved. Mm-hmm. You know, and you just gotta pay. If you pay attention, you could really see how a guy loves you. Some guys pay all the bills, and to them, I love you. I paid every single bill in this house, the lights on. That's love. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta figure out what type of love that guy has. So me going into someone in a relationship with love, it's like I pay attention to the things that they do to show me that they love me. And the way that I show love is those things. Like, I'm going to make sure you good. Like, I'm going to do whatever you need in a relationship. Whatever you want me to be, I'm that. Like, if you want me to spin around like a helicopter, like, that's what I'm going to do. Like, because I love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, and I feel like people go wrong because they let self get in the way, you know?